After an exciting week of soccer, it's come down to this. The number 3 seeded Iowa Central Tritons taking on the tournament host and top seed Eastern Florida State College and the Titans to determine the 2015 NJCAA Division I Women's Soccer Champion. Live from the Titan Soccer Complex on Eastern Florida's Melbourne campus, it's the Tritons and the Titans, and it's next. It's a wet and rainy championship Saturday night on Florida's Space Coast as the unbeaten and top-seeded Eastern Florida State College looking for its first national title. But the third-seeded Iowa Central Tritons have designs on a championship themselves. Good evening and welcome to rainy Melbourne, everybody. Just about 45 minutes late because of a rain delay to start things off. I'm Jeff Radcliffe. Eddie Rodriguez will join us in just a moment. Thanks for joining us here on this championship telecast here on NJCAA TV. Well, this is the culmination of a week-long event here on campus in Melbourne. And 4 pools got whittled down to the championship tonight. Eastern Florida knocking off Monroe, as you see the 4 pool winners to the left. And it was Iowa Central in the semis last night beating Butler Community College, and is now 12 teams down to the final 2. Let's take a look at the highlights from the semifinals here Friday night. And it was number 4 versus number 3, the Grizzlies of Butler taking on Iowa Central. And it was a game that was bossed by the Tritons. And they had things going from the get-go, but didn't score until the second. In the 54th minute, it is Tamara Kirosh who gets that ball in there. And that was 1-0 from just outside the 6-yard area. And she wasn't done. On a free kick in the 84th, Kirosh makes it 2-0. And that's all she wrote as the Iowa Central Community College Tritons make their first championship appearance under their head coach, Christian Lessa.
Like a dream. We worked very hard, no one would ever understand this, what this team has gone through. We've been working for 4 years to get to this point, and we are very proud of the girls. That's all I can say.
In the other semifinal, it was number 1 Eastern Florida State College, the host with the most, mixing it up with number 7 Monroe and the Mustangs out of New Rochelle, New York. First half, the Mustangs, though, getting things started early in the 4th. Nicole Rivero with a nice diving header, and it was 1-0 to the visitors. But the Titans answered back late in that first half. 37th minute, Abby Camargo finds Nicole Broderick. Nice touch there on the goal, and the Jamaican levels things 1-1. It took a second overtime. Just 90 seconds from penalty kicks, and it was Julia Hernandez on the header off the foot of Paula Astilla-Zaran. The floater goes into the back of the net, and that's all she wrote. As Eastern Florida State College avenged a semifinal loss to Monroe last year, the Titans making their second appearance in the championship game.
Yeah, we had to play a little direct tonight. They kind of bunkered in there and tried to counterattack out of it, and fortunately we kept plugging away, and I didn't really want to go to PKs again against Monroe. It was a flashback from last year. So we got the job done. The first 5 minutes, they jumped on us and we gave up early goal. And then Nicole scored that big goal, and then Julia the big header in the second overtime. So, wow, we're going to the national championship.
Joined now by former MLS midfielder Eddie Rodriguez. And Eddie, you've got 2 teams that this year have combined for nearly 190 goals. So you would have to say that the goalkeepers are going to have a very, very important role to play tonight.
Huge, both goalkeepers here. It's going to be huge for both goalkeepers, as you mentioned. Now you're playing for a national championship. The field, the grass is wet. We've been on this rainy afternoon, so for them it's going to be huge. Look for the rain to be a factor in this game as they play defense.
Yeah, we've had a lot of rain here in the last 4 hours, but the pitch has held up well as we had expected to this state-of-the-art pitch. Here are the aforementioned goalkeepers for each side. It is the Brazilian Nicole Medeiros. She had a shutout last night in the semifinals.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Medeiros had a shutout, but not only that, she's one of the captains for this Iowa Central. Huge in the back. We spoke to the coach, and just one of those things when she's been solid the whole year for them.
On the other side, it is the Mexican national team or youth national team of Stephanie Barreras, and she is a player that likes to test things a little bit and get out of that box sometimes.
Absolutely for her. She adds a little bit of danger, great on her feet. We saw her in the semifinal yesterday. You know, a couple times she came up a little bit too high, so for her, she's got to play solid defense from the get-go, and then after that, she distributes the ball so well, but she's huge for Eastern Florida.
Let's take a look at the starting 11s for each side on your screen. Iowa Central Community College there on the left, switching it up from the lineup they had just last night. In fact, there are 7 South American players in that 11-woman roster. We'll talk about that as we move forward. And for Eastern Florida, it's that Spanish flamenco duo there of Estia Zaran and Hernandez, who have stolen the show all season long. Pay attention to those two. Our coaches on the left side, the Rio de Janeiro native, Christian Lessa, now in her 4th season, making her first championship appearance. Jeff Carr on the other side in his 6th season has brought the Titans back for the first time since 2012. Our referees for tonight's championship contest are going to be Carlton Shakes. He will be leading things off in the center, and he'll be assisted by Brian Bauer and Anya Voigt tonight. So the field ready for play. Warm-ups continuing to our right as you see this rain continuing to pour down here on the Space Coast. We're not really in storm season, Eddie, here in Central Florida and in this part of the world right now, but we've had a lot of rain, a lot of lightning, hence the delay. It's Estia Zaran and Hernandez in the center circle awaiting kickoff as Eastern Florida will attack from right to left. And the white shirts and blue shorts on the other side, Iowa Central, and the dark midnight blue with the light blue Carolina-style trim. And they will go from left to right. And there's our referee, Carlton Shakes, as he'll oversee this championship matchup. And 45 on the clock. And we welcome you here on NJCAA.TV and on WEFS TV to this championship broadcast here in Melbourne. And it will be possessed right in the middle of the park and now pushed to that right side. Lacey Santos, the Colombian, can't do much with it. It comes back the other way. It'll be a throw to the Tritons. It's going to be tough tonight. Tritons versus Titans here tonight.
It is. You can tell how much of the rain still coming down. We thought by now it'd slow down a little bit, but no, it's coming down pretty hard. Of course, the field's great, so we're not worried about the field collecting any type of water. But the concern is just how the ball's going to skip, especially for goalkeepers, especially for defenders in the back. Can you find the right bounce, and can you control the ball?
This being the home field of the Titans, certainly advantage. They're going to know how this field plays. They played in a number of rain-delayed games this season, as you're always accustomed to in Florida in the fall. Yeah,
they're a team they're used to using the width. Good team, solid out of the back. They come out of the back playing, and, of course, they love to use that width. They're going to play with that target forward, and Paula Astiazaran, who's got a ton of goals this year, close to 30 now. And, of course, her counterpart on the other side, Julia Hernandez, looking to do some damage as well.
In the center of that defense now, trying to break out of their own end, are the Tritons. And it'll be headed back into the center. Here is Khadijah Shaw. She gets it away. Camargo. And Brianna will circle back, skirts it on a square ball to her sister on the right side. That is Abby Camargo, 18 and 19, and now turned over is Arbeláez, the native of Medellin, Colombia.
And you can see right away how many shirts from Iowa Central. As soon as they had the ball, they collapsed the middle. One of the reasons why they're so good defensively and why they don't give up a lot of goals. They're going to close the space right in front of you, Jeff.
Along the left, the attack will come here for Iowa Central. He held up by Bailey Roche getting the start tonight, the freshman out of Ogden, Utah. In fact, 10 players on the roster from the Beehive State. And I'll come back to center. Shelby Baker and Leis Freitas are the two central defenders here for the Tritons tonight. Comes back to Barreras, the keeper, rolls into her box with Savory and Roche running on quickly. This will be Delgado along that right side. Now will be the Tritons now trying to play up the middle of the spine here. This will be no problem for Barrera. She comes out as she's accustomed to doing, all the way to the edge of the 18-yard area.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages of her playing so high. She usually hangs around the 18-yard line, so for her, anything going through, she's going to come out and collect. Of course, the problem with that is when she's trying to challenge that high up, and we've seen it in a couple of occasions where she gets in trouble trying to win that ball so far up the field.
It will be the Tritons taking possession and sent to the wide side. Roche.
There's Ramsey in the back. She had a huge game yesterday, just closing everything there. You know, she even went at the attack, had a couple of good headers.
So the throw will be Lacey Scardazzi, who's getting the start tonight. Had a goal against Lewis and Clark in pool play. She will yield now to Santos, native of Bogota, Colombia. So 3 Colombians, 4 Brazilians in the starting lineup.
And there's that pipeline that we're talking about, bringing international
to Fort Dodge,
players.
Iowa.
Absolutely. You and I talked about how do you recruit players, and of course, if you don't have that pipeline, that connection there, you know.
I think Fort Dodge now second to Orlando as the Brazilian capital of the United States. All these players that Coach Lessa has brought in. Here comes the switch. It will be made by Arbelais, and it's intercepted. Titans will come the other way, send it on the ground and low, picked up by Hernandez, and nice defense there by Shelby Baker. Hold her back, makes her track back in the falling raindrops.
Yeah, and expect Iowa right away. As soon as you get close to their box 18, they're going to close that gap, as we see right there. They're pretty good stepping right away. So if you're Julia Hernandez on top, you're not going to get a lot of time, a lot of space to turn around and try to dribble or shoot from the top of the 18.
This will be the Titans defending, and when skips too far forward, it'll be carried all the way back by Barreras. And Stephanie, the number falling off of her jersey. I don't think masking tape is going to stick in the wet conditions here tonight, and it did not.
Not tonight,
lasted
of
all
course.
5 minutes.
Stephanie always adding that element of danger in the back, as we saw her come out, collect, and lose her number in the process.
So the dangerous ball will chip it to the back post, will Roche, and it will go out for a goal kick.
And that's the problem with Steph. See how high she was. I mean, she almost gets cut in transition right there. Just almost a little bit too far. And you're, Jeff, what we call no man's land. You're not all the way up. You're not all the way down. So if you get caught in the middle, that's definitely dangerous. Here's another angle, too. Look, Stephanie's way out. She's kind of lucky that
she missed the target.
Absolutely. Rocha not able to put that on target, because if she does, that would have been one for sure, Jeff.
Up the left side as Kordick will work, and will lose the handle as Camargo cannot get it there.
Thanks, that was good.
Throw will come for Abby Bishop, the natives of Utah from Logan. As you take a look at Khadijah Shaw, 11 goals in 10 games. That is what you call productivity.
Absolutely. Bunny just kind of, she was a little bit off yesterday. She got hit early in the game, was experiencing cramps during that match, and wasn't able to get going early like what we usually see. She even had a couple of free kicks. But as you mentioned, talk about productivity, man. Just all over the place for her. Assisting, scoring goals.
And now Shaw trying to force the turnover. Nicely handled there by Quiroz. And stepping to was Jay Bales. There's an important cog there in the middle. Defensive midfielder. And now Shaw will take it and then cut it to the right foot. Shaw will run and dance again to the right side. She'll give it a go from distance. It's low, a skipping ball that Medeiros had to cover, and those are never easy, right?
Great job by Bunny. That's exactly what you want to do. You mentioned they're not easy, especially when it's raining like tonight. So good job by Bunny, just taking care of 2 defenders, taking that space in front of her and just letting one go. You want to test the goalkeeper early. Of course, if you want to hit that a little bit harder, but just make sure you hit it on the ground so it'll skip
Ooh,
off.
a little Rabona.
That's nice little tricky
Don't
play
see
by
that very often.
Hernandez. She's getting jiggy tonight with that little Rabona. I'm surprised you knew that name. That's good, though.
It was a nice pass. Well, let me see her use it on a goal score. Let's see that. Take it up a notch.
Well, and
Along the near side.
She made the pass as well. It wasn't just the movement, but she connected.
Nice run by Kordich. And 50-50 balls are going to be tough to come by. A handball play on, and it will skirt right to Barreras, who again was high off her line.
Yeah, Helen Ramsey, the ball skipped. She touched with a hand. Referee side close enough. Gave Iowa Central the advantage. And once again, Stephanie Barreras a little bit too high. She might have been over the line.
It will be a throw for Eastern Florida State College as we see Christiane Lessa. So both teams have had some chances going forward here. The flick on by Hernandez, and she will continue to battle back the Spaniard. That one over the target, runs into the 18, and this will be Scardazzi, freshman out of Sao Paulo. Khadija Shaw.
Great tackle by Bunny right there, wins the ball.
Hernandez will hold it up, make the turn. Hernandez, top of the 18. Hernandez will shoot it, takes a deflection, and it's just pushed wide as Medeiros got challenged there.
Yeah, that ball was going in. You can tell that Julia Hernandez wanted it. Great save by Medeiros, sending it for a corner kick. You can tell as she takes the shot just right here. Great turn, cuts the ball back to the inside, looks up, she hits it, and he just deflected right there out of Baker. Great job of Medeiros getting to that ball.
Was touched by Medeiros, and so here comes the corner kick first of the night for either team. This is how the night ended last night for Eastern Florida on a set piece, and that one was handled fine by Nicole. As it was Astia Zaran's service into Hernandez that ended the game in double overtime.
Yeah, and there's always that connection. Jeff going, looking for Julia in the middle. Paula Ciceran usually takes the corners on the left, in-swingers, left-footed corner kick. And, of course, last night she was able to connect. Here's a little footwork by Hernandez. Watch this. She brings the ball down, and watch the little trick right here. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
So what's the benefit other than just looking good there? Is there a benefit to the
yeah,
Rabona?
absolutely. The benefit is that the player, your defender, stood with you, and you're trying to get
on
advantage.
that one leg. Yep.
Right. Is it a huge advantage? No, but it looks good on video, right?
It does.
That's for your personal collection
for
right there.
posterity's sake, this is going to be enshrined forever here on NJCAA TV and WEFS. So we'll be able to talk about it for years to come.
If you score off of that, then you're big time.
Yeah. Oh, dangerous ball chipped into the box, rolling to the line, cleared off the line and off the post. So give one up to Serena Delgado, who got it just in the nick of time. And again, Barreras caught off her line.
Great job by Delgado just getting there. And once again, Stephanie Barreras out too far. She gets cut in the middle right here. Look, she's in no man's land. The forward just hits the ball. But look at Delgado. Look at the awareness. She keeps her eye on the ball. Left-footed tackle right there. Oh, that was dangerous.
Luckily went
Absolutely.
on the inside of that post and out and not back in. So danger, Will Robinson.
If you're Barreras, you're either inside or outside, but you cannot stay in no man's land. So either you stay home, wait for the forward, or you got to come out and win that ball.
Now you know that they're going to try to chip you as well, so keep that in the back of your mind.
That's a great point you bring up. Now that they know she's out, they're going to try to hit the early one.
This will be Lacey Santos, who takes many of the set pieces, if not all, and she will drill it across, not even get it into the 18. Santos catch back up now. Arbelais, the two Colombians in that central midfield for the Tritons.
And Iowa's taking advantage of the huge width in this field. They're knocking the ball around. You can tell they're settling down already, trying to get their touches on.
Barreras on the edge of the area again will make the pickup. And see players lurking. Marilia Lagas is in there now too. 4 of the 6 Brazilians on this Tritons roster from Belo Horizonte. So going into one city and taking all the talent. Now on the run, Camargo. Now off her line will be Medeiros.
That was Abby to her sister, Bree to Abby. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Medeiros once again comes out huge because Camargo was just hitting 1-on-1. She was going to slide that ball through.
Steady rain continues as Delgado will throw. Delgado, right now the savior this first half. It's no score coming up on first quarter hour played. Bunny Shaw using that frame and unable to win the ball that time.
That's the disadvantage of having that that size. Here's another angle of that last shot. Abby plays that great through ball look all by herself. And then Medeiros comes out right at the right time because she was right on top of the 18.
So a lot of end-to-end action here in this Division I NJCAA championship match. Open spaces here as it gets to Hernandez. Camargo to her left, and it is poked away. Shaw will keep it in the attacking half. In space, Camargo, and she will send it towards the frame, and it'll be off target. It'll be a goal kick for Nicole Medeiros.
Yeah, Abby had a little more time. She kind of rushed that shot. He got the ball from Bunny, but you know, that's what happens a lot of the times when it's raining and you think you have less space. You try to rush it.
Well, this is going to be a tough Triton team to crack. Have only allowed 7 goals the entire season. Medeiros 10 shutouts. And a stellar goals against average of .31. There's a one that will be skirted along the left side as they try the inside post. Nothing doing. And a goal kick again for the Tritons.
Yeah, once again, Bree Camargo. But I like the fact that they're taking shots. Yeah, they're not great shots right now, Jeff, but it's just a matter of time. You know, as a system, once you start doing that, you can actually relax. And once you start doing too, what's going to happen is you're going to open up those holes in the defense so you can actually play that through ball for an oncoming forward.
Under a half hour to go in this opening half, no score. This is the NJCAA National Championship here on a soggy night in Melbourne. And field, as always, holds up. This facility, has seen a lot of soccer at all levels here in its existence, and it's held up in each one of those, whether that tournament's high school and then coming up in USL here this spring.
Yeah, you and I have seen, you know, days where they have 6, you know, games in a row here, and then the next day the field looks, you know, like nothing ever happened. So even with the weather as well.
It's been the home to the championship the last couple of years here in the NJCAA and the women's soccer, and also the Florida State High School Championships the last couple. So it does see a lot of action. Oh, trying to release Nicole Broderick, who checked in along the right side. She had the tying goal yesterday. Speedy Jamaican, they'll get it to her now, and it will come back and not get there.
Yeah, Broderick was huge yesterday. She came off the bench and just was all over the place. She loves to get down the line and get some great crosses. Of course, she had that goal yesterday to tie up the game in a breakaway. Great finish one time over the goalkeeper.
A throw to Eastern Florida. Broderick and skirted a little too far forward. Shaw settles under, chests it down to her feet at the halfway line, pushes it forward just out of the reach of Estia Zoran, but Hernandez is there. She'll race to the corner. A little forearm shiver. They continue to play. Step over and then moving left. Make that right now. Camargo and Abby will have a shot here. She will let it go and not enough on it. Try to chip it over the top. Now just fling it high in the air and it will be caught in the gut of Medeiros.
Yeah, Abby once again with another shot on top of the box. Not able to generate a lot of power from that. Her foot got caught on the defender's leg as well. Good job by Hernandez. Just when you thought the ball was going to go out of bounds, she gets to that. The ball wasn't intended to her, but she did a good job with that cross.
Through ball, too much mustard on it. Barreras Some shaky moments here in this opening half. But a wet ball, wouldn't want to be me.
Never a dull moment with her in the back.
Usually you don't say your goalkeeper's exciting. She definitely is for a number of reasons.
Absolutely.
There's a takedown that will yield a free kick for the Titans here.
And not in a bad way. She just has that flair about her. She reminds me of course, Mexican international Jorge Campos, who was always doing something, a little flick. Of course, he was well known for using those bright colors.
And didn't he sew those jerseys himself too?
Absolutely. Just, just crazy colors.
You played against him in the day.
Yeah, you
those
played
battles with LA Galaxy when you were a Metro Star.
Played for the Galaxy, and then when I went to Kansas City. But Stephanie adds that, just she has that flair. She has that a little bit extra. She's just one of those goalkeepers who gets bored in the back and wants to come out and play.
Camargo will leave it back. Kordich, number 23, will settle over, and she'll play the negative ball back into space. Pinged back forward, and will be handled by that back line. Comes back to Brianna Camargo. Game settling down just a bit here. As Ramsey will play catch. And running on Roche. Trying to force the issue along the right side. Keeps her feet is Delgado, the sophomore. Kept the run going. 50-50 balls ever contentious here in the first half.
Yeah, and finally Eastern Florida using that width. They started going too direct at the beginning of this game, which is what they did yesterday in the semifinal. They were playing against a team who was very direct, kind of cut up doing that, and they're finally here the first 20 minutes now. They're actually settling the ball down, knocking the ball around out of the back.
Hernandez gets the corner, goes to the byline, sends it back in front. It'll be a free shot for Camargo. She'll send it on frame, and it's knocked out of there. Shelby Baker met her. So good defense, holding true, and every shot being contested now by Iowa Central.
Well, that's one of the things they do best. Iowa Central, they take pride in that defensive shape. As you said earlier, only 7 goals allowed, which is amazing for how long the season is. So trust me, they're not under any pressure right now. They're keeping it cool, calm, and collect out of the back.
Kordich, the sophomore out of Jacksonville, will concede the throw here. It got off kilter as it hit her boot. And numbers will come forward here. Some subs made as well for the Tritons. And Maria Lagas, Brazilian, one of those 4 from Belo Horizonte. Freshman will make the high arcing throw. Kordich gets there first and nicely handled. Here come the Titans on the run. Diagonal ball does find its way to Hernandez. Run being made by Estia Zaran. Now a foul and a free kick the other way.
Yeah, Julia Hernandez took a little bit too long trying to decide what to do with that ball. She had a couple of runners coming out of the back. She doesn't get rid of the ball. Actually, she had Paula making a good run there. And after that, she loses the ball. She gets called for the foul.
Drilled forward by Freitas. Tritons attacking left to right here. And Santos in the corner of the box. And a PK goal in pool play against Laramie County. And nothing will happen there. Barreras will have the ball and look to release here.
Yeah, she was going to play it early. It's not on. She keeps the ball.
Take a look at Arbeláez. Sent forward. Bishop. Now Santos.
Yeah, and you're not going to win many challenges if you keep knocking the ball back for Bunny, who's every bit of 5'11" for Eastern Florida in the middle. She's playing that defensive center mid role. She's going to clean everything in the air. So if you're Iowa Central, you're better off just keeping the ball on the ground.
Quiroz started things off. Now a dangerous ball being put into the 18-yard area And it comes all the way back out. Rolls to the other half of the field, then pinged forward in direct fashion. And this will be no problem for Barreras, who offside, I believe, happened because she was able to handle it and put it down.
Yeah, she was coming from an offside position.
Oh, a takedown there will have a free kick the other way, and Hernandez is not going to be inclined to agree to that one. And same with the crowd, a very pro Eastern Florida State College crowd here at the Titan Soccer Complex.
Yeah, she did not like that call, and this is not the first one. A couple of times where we got a frame, she got pulled from behind, so I knew she wasn't happy about the last call, or call rather. She never got the call on the last one.
Broderick. And poke checked away, if you will, Roballo. And now trying to play it forward. Wise to it was Ramsey.
Yeah, and you can tell just, you know, everything's north and south right now. Neither team's able to put the ball down and just keep it, use the width. Eastern Florida had started doing it. They've kind of gone away from that, kind of the style that they played yesterday. Not something we're used to seeing, Jeff. They're more of a possession team. They build out of the back. Not so much tonight.
Everything will be earned tonight for that man and his team, Jeff Carr. Jeff Carr now in his 6th season, coming into this match 74-12-5 in his tenure here. And has done even better things as an athletic director.
Yeah, he's definitely put a quality product on the field. This, of course, his best season yet, being 15-0. They haven't lost a game.
You are watching the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships on NJCAA TV alongside Eddie Rodriguez. I'm Jeff Radcliffe. So glad you're with us here on this rainy night on the Space Coast of Florida. And there the ball will come the other way. And one of the assistants for the Tritons.
He's wondering what happened. Yeah.
Sorry, man. You have a closer view of it than us. Will lead to a free kick for Delgado. Cleared away. Shaw will race, use the 5'11" frame, and will commit the foul. It'll be a free kick the other way.
Yeah, there's that physicality I was talking about. You go into a challenge in the middle, you find Bunny against you, and that's going to be you know, hard-earned tackle right there.
Well, Select Sports is proud to be the official match ball of the National Junior College Athletic Association. Select Super FIFA Match Ball is used exclusively at all NJCAA soccer championships. Select Sports, inspired by history but designed for the future. Under 20 to go, opening half, no score. These two, I want to say giants, but titans and tritons of women's collegiate soccer. Broderick all the way here on this near side, as Barreras will just do her best to clear it out, and right at the halfway line goes out for a throw.
And that's good from Barreras. You just want to clear it out. Don't get in trouble, especially because the surface of the pitch is wet. You don't want to get cute in the back, try to trap it, and then you get in trouble.
And offside as the flag is up from Anya Voigt, our assistant referee on the near side.
Scardazzi not liking that ball, but she actually came back from an offside position. So she was offside, then she tried to track back, and of course that's what Anya, the referee, saw and called.
Set ahead of the broadcast, Hernandez and Estia Zoran, the lion's share of the shots this year. Close to 190 of them. And have gotten their fair share of goals out of those, 26 and 29 respectively for Hernandez and Estia Zoran. That Spanish connection has been quite the duo.
And just to think that the scoring record was 14 prior to that, 14 goals in 1 year.
And everybody's just blowing it up. Yeah, you're right.
They just came in, took it, and just blew by it, and, you know, decided to set new records in the meantime.
Estia Zoran has more than doubled that. As the Titans have rolled to 17-0.
And on the other side, you have the Camargo sisters, Abby, and
with the assists.
saying thanks for coming on the assist.
45 assists between the Camargo twins.
Unbelievable numbers.
Stia Zaran with 24 herself.
Well, and the crazy part about Paula and Julia is that they're only freshmen, you know. Abby and Bree, they're sophomores, so they're on their way out.
Sure, another infusion of talent coming back. Iowa Central, a lot of freshmen not in the lineup there for Coach Lessa, so we could see these two teams right back here again next year.
Oh, absolutely. You talk about the depth for both teams. You know, Jeff Carr's got a pretty solid team as well. He does lose all the defenders in the back, though, however. But when you have a lot of firing power, Bunny comes back, you know, Broderick comes back, Julia.
Sure, the starters tonight for the Tritons, just 2 sophomores, everybody freshmen. So, must be nice.
Even goalkeepers come back, right?
No, Medeiros is one of the
She's
2
a sophomore,
sophomores.
you're right.
She and Paige Savory.
But Stephanie does come back. She's a freshman
yes.
for Eastern Florida.
As Asmara Holmes was a second-team All-American last year, now the backup this season for the Titans. So that goes to show you how good Barreras has been this year as she runs it and takes it all the way forward to Hernandez.
You go from being an All-American to being a sub the next year. And, you know, she's done a good job, though, when she comes in.
She's a role player, yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the great thing about this team.
Played in 11 games.
The challenges that you have at practice is a lot of times you have more of a challenge at practice that you do in some of the games. You know, some of the games they've beaten teams by 6, 7, 8 goals. I think there was one where they won, what, 16, 17 goals?
Yeah. Second. A couple of them. I think they had an 18-0 and a 13-0 on a road trip. As Camargo back in. And I think you can say the rain has now reached the torrential level. As Delgado, the Parkland, Florida native, down in the Boca Raton area. Played center back last year for these Titans. All 5'2" of her playing center back a year ago.
And the amazing thing that as much rain as we've gotten in the last 3 hours, you look at the pitch, not, you know.
No puddles?
No puddles at all.
Be held up along that far side in front of the Iowa Central Technical area. And it will yield a throw for Eastern Florida State College. This is Helen Ramsey, the sophomore from Port St. Lucie's. She will yield the throw back to Delgado. And possession taken by the Tritons. They'll work that left flank. Defense is there. Nice narrow pass. And it gets away. Eastern Florida trying to counter. The ball from Shaw was a little wayward. Kordich will try to win the 50-50 here. And it's pushed along the near touch line, and it will go out for a throw for Iowa Central.
Yeah, that ball by Bunny on the counterattack has got to be to feet first, then you get it back, and then you play it into the space. She got a little too happy, and that one played the ball into the space first. And, of course, he got cut off by one of the Triton defenders. The amazing thing about Bonnie, too, is that she was gone for half of the year. With, of course, duties with the U20 national team, the Jamaican national team, where she is a starter and the captain as well.
Goes across the face of the 18. Catching up is Savory. And she'll play the negative ball all the way back. We'll look to switch the point. No, just send it forward, and flag is up. So the run was attempted by Scardazzi, and she was offside by quite a bit. Barreras will send it back to the center. This will be Haley Cook, a local girl out of Satellite Beach. Now the run comes from Kordich. Ball bent in, somehow finds the foot of Stia Zaran. Now Kordich with the cross to the back post, punched out. Comes near side. And Tritons will fight another day here.
Yeah, great cross, but she had a little bit more space. You could tell that she could have taken a touch and then hit the same cross. a little bit too rushed, but once again, great run, though. She came out of the left fullback position, so that's a 60-yard run.
Perfect weight on the ball from Brianna Camargo. Now here is Hernandez. Does fall, and Camargo will send it to the wide side. Cutting in the box, right at the top of the 18, nobody home. Now a little high pressure being put on. Shaw will run back. Abby Camargo into Bree. Square ball. And too far out in front for Hernandez, but you like the link-up play that's happening now for the home team, the Titans.
Yeah, Paulo's trying to play that through ball. So this is what I was talking about, Cordich. Look, she's got a little bit more time. She could play that ball down the line. Nonetheless, that's a great ball. Looking for Julia in the box. And Madeira, the goalkeeper, does a good job coming out and taking that at the highest point in the air.
Cassidy Davis, sophomore out of Largo, getting some quality touches and playing some balls in dangerous spots here from that right side. And Shaw will not be whistled for the infraction. It comes, no, it will come, yep, an overrule. So it looked like the mind was changed multiple times there. There's the turn from Hernandez, keeps it, and it takes 3 defenders to force her out.
Yeah, she did a good job on the turn. She's expecting to get that call. Referee doesn't see it.
Final 11 minutes of this first half. No scores. Kordich and everybody soaking wet. Rain continues to steadily fall earthward. Kordich. And nice job there by Lagas along that right side, who step into the ball like a champ. Through ball won't happen. Santos will begin the attack. And getting stuck in, boy, Shaw and Davis not making it easy. Along the left, too far for Roche. Along the right, Davis. Sent in Estiazaran. They back off of her. Ball through to Hernandez.
Yeah, she tried to pay. Julia was posting up. Julia waited a little bit too long, and that's the problem with her. She's playing in between 3 defenders. Every time she tries to step in, you know, she's got to go against 2 or 3 defenders.
Delgado's got it. Davis. Nice footwork there by the former Scorpion. And now finally taken away at the halfway line. Under 10 to go, first half. Tell you what, these Tritons are all over the field. Santos covers a lot of ground.
A lot of ground, and they're good technically. They're just that last touch in the attacking third. It's going away from them, but good job. Just as you mentioned, they cover a lot of ground.
Camargo starts things off and will send it wide. Davis, the cross in. It will go into touch and a throw for Eastern Florida State College. How does it feel when you have the rain continue to pound on you here for better part of, 40 minutes, and you're soggy? Do you feel heavier in the shoes, heavier?
Yeah, it's not so much that you get tired. I mean, it's a great feel, so it's not that. A lot of the times when it gets super, muddy, then your legs get heavy. Your legs are heavy now because your shoes are soaked and your socks and everything. So, but to play in the rain is great. You don't get as tired. It's just that we're playing in a huge field here, and you got to remember both teams just played last night, so it's not like they're nice and fresh.
Yeah, that is certainly a challenge. Now, you can point out that it's fair both teams have to play in the same conditions going back to back. However, Eastern Florida did have to play an overtime period.
Oh, yeah, they played an extra 20 minutes almost, 17 and change to score the goal with 2 minutes. So that makes a difference, Jeff. An extra 20 minutes.
Substitutions will be key for sure, is keeping those legs fresh. Well, they won't be dry, I can tell you that. I'm sure there's a lot of squish noises throughout the field tonight.
Well, and this is when it would be huge if you can go into a locker room and just get a whole set of uniforms, socks, shorts, and jerseys. just because you're talking about how
Yeah.
heavy they are now.
Jeff Carr looks like he's on a fishing trip over there.
He's only missing the fishing hat. Other than that, he's all
all he
geared out.
needs. It'll be a free kick here of 7-minute mark coming up on us. Free kick from a long way out. Would take a hefty flick on to do any damage here, but we'll see.
A pretty good crowd here. Home field advantage for Eastern Florida.
Umbrellas makes it look even bigger. Ball sent forward into the box, and it gets by Barreras, but it was off target. In behind for a goal kick.
Nobody there, though. That's pretty smart, just to try to make that ball skip before he gets to the goalkeeper. It's a lot harder to control that ball, so give credit to the Triton player trying to play the ball to the far post, make it skip before he gets to Barreras.
And Steph willing people to come back. She'll take her time here to distribute.
Yeah, you can tell she was going to play the short ball and then a little frustrated. Now she's just saying, get up, I'll hit it long.
She will stay in the attacking half, at least for the time being, for the Tritons. Will be Titans ball here. So it'll be Ramsey to let her fly. And just squeegees one across the ground. And that yields a throw in here in the attacking half, far side for Eastern Florida State College.
Yeah, that's a problem playing these wet conditions. She tried to get under, not able to do it, and the ball just skips away. It's a lot harder to get your footing here.
Hernandez, freshman from Madrid, Spain. She's taken to ground here. It will go out for a throw and come back the other way.
Speak of keeping your footing there, you can tell how everything's just super wet as we see Christian Leza saying 2-touch, switch your point of attack, go from side to side.
Another throw for Eastern Florida. And we had the game-winning goal against Monroe last night off the head of Hernandez. 10-15 minutes after she had a header right on frame that was right at the keeper with a lot of pace on it. A little touch on the header to win it.
Right at the goalkeeper. Anywhere else on frame, that would have been in, and that would have been it for that game.
Run continues. Tell you what, Santos and company doing a number through that midfield. Now they'll get it into the corner. Played back. Certainly take that, says the Titans. Move it out of danger. Santos comes back to Brown. And Ramsey steps to the ball. Always that ever dangerous last 5 minutes or first 5 minutes of a half, where you definitely don't want to concede, and they will concede a free kick as Shaw goes to ground, and Santos got stuck in.
And to finish your point, Jeff, if you look at the percentages of when goals are scored, a lot of the times the first 5, as you mentioned, the last 5 of every half. Here's another look here at Bunny going at it.
And the guilty party will be Bishop.
Julie on the ball. She's going to look for that far post.
With the left foot, Stia Zoran goes into the box. And it will come back out, and it will be a foul. So it will be Triton's ball here on a free kick.
Yeah, that was actually Paula on the ball on the free kick. Uses that left-footed swinger all the time. And now Julia having a chat with the ref.
Three minutes to go, opening half. And a 0-0 deadlock here in this NJCAA Division I Women's Soccer Championship. Taking their time with it here. Broderick back in there. Comes to center. Shaw falls forward. Crowd appealing for a foul, and it fortuitously bounces. And now they try to play the ball through. As Nicole Wenzel now into the game, she'll give it a go. She did have a goal early in this tournament, Wenzel did. Back in pool play. She had it late in the half there as well.
Yeah, she started the counter. She played the ball down the line. She was looking for Roach. She gets it back. In the middle, she spins off, takes the shot. Goes out wide, a little bit too high, but good job by her coming right off the bench and just going forward.
Yeah. Wenzel, the freshman out of Lincoln, Nebraska, from Husker country. That one will go sailing into touch. The throw will come from the Tritons, and now Eastern Florida will be set to defend here. Headed forward, and a foul committed, getting into the back. So not getting away with anything here, either side.
Well, you did say that it was going to be a very defensive type of a game. Two teams that played pretty solid defense, and of course Iowa Central only allowing 7 goals thus far in the season. So for them, solid is a must. Solid defense, of course.
Pinged forward Santos, the run being made by Roche. And she'll take it into the corner here with 1:20 to go. Ball played back, headed on frame, and the save is made by Barreras as she dove to her right. So dangerous opportunity there for the Tritons.
There's that cross, looking for that far post.
Oh.
Just gets to Barreras, not with a lot of power, and of course, the thing you wonder and you worry about is just the grass being wet. The first goal, the goal they gave up yesterday was kind of like that, and Barreras just kind of stood in the line, and the defender was a little bit late, ended up giving up that 1-0 lead.
Down to the final 30 seconds here. Certainly a good opportunity moments ago for Iowa Central. See if there's one foray into that attacking third left for the Titans, as Broderick will take the turn. That dark spot in front of the bench. Down to 14 seconds, and Broderick is lying on the ground in pain, unfortunately. So we'll check on her. The clock will stop with 13 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, we talk about Broderick as she's always busy up and down that right flank. Couldn't really tell how she got hit, but she's definitely complaining of a lot of pain. She's hurting. And here's that. We see her come and collect the ball as she turns right there. Oh, yeah, she definitely got hit in that ankle. That was Arbeláez making contact with Broderick's right ankle.
And she is still down as the rain continues to fall. Halftime coming up. Of course, we'll have highlights of this first half.
Carolina Arbeláez, one more of the Brazilian connection for this Iowa Central. She's actually Colombian, rather.
From Medellin.
From Medellin, Colombia.
And again, we mentioned it earlier. 7 of the 11 that started tonight for head coach Christian Lessa.
A lot of great players from Medellin playing for the Colombian national team throughout history.
And Broderick will be helped to the bench. So we did hear last night in the celebration of that semifinal win, she kind of got stuck underneath the dog pile and got nicked up a bit. Final 10 seconds here. Countdown ensues. Ball will be drilled into the box and will come back out. And time will expire in this first half. Scoreless first, 45 here in the NJCAA Women's Division I National Championship Contest. We'll be back to talk about it right after this.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Orlando City Soccer Club has announced that its highly anticipated United Soccer League team will be called Orlando City B and play its home games at Eastern Florida State College's Titan Soccer Complex on the Melbourne campus. The club expects this venue to be as electric and exciting as MLS matches, with Space Coast supporters on hand to cheer on their club each and every game. Eastern Florida President Dr. Jim Ritchie talked about the team and its impact on the college and the county.
Orlando City has captured the soccer world in Florida, drawing more than 500,000 fans to Orlando for Major League Soccer action. Many of those fans, that we see here today, live right along the Space Coast. In addition, this specific partnership creates potential opportunities for our students through internships during the season.
The Titan Soccer Complex, which is home to the college's nationally ranked men's and women's soccer teams, will seat 3,500 fans for OCB's matches. Orlando City Vice President of Business Development Tim Holt also discussed the partnership.
We're here because we believe that after a good amount of research that this is the optimal location to launch our USL team. We think it'll be exceptionally well supported in a community that is definitely has soccer fever. So as much as we strongly believe Brevard County is the right place for this USL team to play, we wouldn't be here today without Eastern Florida State College and their leadership believing in this, namely, and there's so many folks that have been involved with this, namely Dr. Ritchie and Jeff Carr.
Season tickets for 2016 are on sale now for Orlando City's MLS season ticket members and will be available to the general public on October 20th. For more information, visit this website.
Come on, now you're on your way. Come on, like it, like that. Come on, now you're on your way. Come on, like it, like that. Come on, ride with me, now you're on your way. Like it.
Titan Madness was in the air as the annual event launched the 2015-2016 season for the men's and women's Titans basketball teams. The night began with a skills competition, pitting Titans players against one another in a display of sharpshooting from all over the court. Then it was nothing but net for the men and women as they showed off their shooting prowess in the three-point shooting contest. The Titans men and women then took to the court to face off in the co-ed scrimmage. Finally, the high-flying Titans dazzled the crowd with gravity-defying jams in the crowd favorite dunk contest. This year, the talented men's team looks to continue its success behind three-time reigning FCSAA Southern Conference Coach of the Year, Jeremy Schulman. Coach Jim Grimes leads the Lady Titans team as they look to repeat as FCSAA Southern Conference champs. Admission to all Titans games is free, so check the schedule for the next home game and come out and support your Titans.
This is where we're building the future, where you discover new opportunities and careers take flight. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Back on the Melbourne campus of Eastern Florida State College, umbrellas still out. A rainy night continues in this championship affair between the Titans and Tritons. No score at the half. Jeff Radcliffe alongside Eddie Rodriguez and our entire WEFS and NJCAA crew bringing you all the pictures and adjustments I'm sure are coming. We expected low scoring. That's exactly what we got.
Yeah, we talked about, of course, the Iowa Central defense. Not only 7 goals given up. 2 teams that know each other well, and they're going to play good defense tonight.
Here's a look at the first half highlights. Bunny Shaw started things off as she sent it low to try to test the keeper, Medeiros.
That was a long range, and now trouble for Eastern Florida. Barreras gets cuts in the middle, and Delgado makes a great save right when the ball was going in. She's able to clear that out of the line. Good job by her. Off the post.
And then Eastern Florida had a spell of nice possession. This is Camargo forward to her sister, and Abby tried to get the shot on, but again, Medeiros up to the challenge. And then here is Arnella Kordich. We'll try to chip it in the air, punched away. And both keepers now keeping a clean sheet. Who else has impressed you here besides the keepers? The back lines have really stepped up into space here tonight on both sides.
Yeah, on both sides. The defensive center mid, they're semi-flat back 4, of course. And they're doing a good job, of course, keeping Julia and Paula in check. They know they're going to play against 2 probably the best forwards in the country. They scored a ton of goals, so for them, Iowa Central has played pretty solid defense. And, of course, Eastern Florida, they just haven't gone at the attack out of the back, but they're playing pretty solid. Stephanie Barreras started a little bit shaky. After that, just kind of her nerves just came down a little bit, played the ball on the ground. She's been pretty safe since.
The Tritons in a familiar position right now. Last night in the semifinals, 0-0 at the half, and came right out of the second half halftime break like gangbusters and scored a quick goal. We'll certainly look to do that tonight. Is that something? Have you seen the danger that they possess?
Absolutely. For them to come out from the break, as you mentioned, come out flying. Yesterday for the first time, Eastern Florida, they found themselves, losing 1-0, something they're not used to. They had to regroup, came back, tied it up, played a better second half. They had a ton of chances, not able to capitalize. They went to double overtime. They finally get it done. But for them, it's a matter of can you come out at the half break and get going early. Of course, we talk about the amount of rain we've seen in the last 3 hours and how much is that going to affect a yet tired team from Eastern Florida. Double overtime yesterday, and, of course, Iowa Central, they played yesterday as well.
Yeah, each of these teams were tied at the half yesterday, and there should be at least 45 minutes, perhaps more, to play. Again, we started 45 minutes late, and that's something that could factor in as we get later and later when you factor in body clocks and the like if we have any delays going forward, knock on wood.
Of course, substitutions for both teams are going to be crucial. We know Jeff Carr is the type of coach who likes to rotate, especially the players out wide. Your outside runners, your fullbacks, and then once in a while he gets those target forwards out, get you a nice little rhythm, a nice little rotation. And, of course, that's the case with Christian Les, the coach from Iowa Central, too. We talked about how many weapons they have, how many foreign players they have. What a good team that is.
Well, Jeff Carr and his Titans talking things over. Adjustments that you make if you're coaching over on that sideline, Eddie.
Yeah, for me, for Eastern Florida, they got to go back to what they got them here, and that is keep possession of the ball going forward. You don't have to play out of the back all the time, but you do have to go side to side so you can find the penetrating ball going forward. Right now they play a little too direct, and they're not the type of team who are used to doing that. You got to give the ball to the players that can take care of the ball, like Julia, like Paula Astiazaran, and, of course, Bunny. She can strike a ball from anywhere around 20, 30 yards out.
And the Tritons have put them in the position to pounce on any mistakes as they look into this second half as well. So the Women's Division I National Championship, we are halfway through. Another 45 will go on the clock when we come back. 0-0 between Eastern Florida State College and Iowa Central Community College. You are watching the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships on NJCAA TV.
Titan Madness was in the air as the annual event launched the 2015-2016 season for the men's and women's Titans basketball teams. The night began with a skills competition, pitting Titans players against one another in a display of sharpshooting from all over the court. Then it was nothing but net for the men and women as they showed off their shooting prowess in the three-point shooting contest. The Titans men and women then took to the court to face off in the co-ed scrimmage. Finally, the high-flying Titans dazzled the crowd with gravity-defying jams in the crowd favorite dunk contest. This year, the talented men's team looks to continue its success behind three-time reigning FCSAA Southern Conference Coach of the Year, Jeremy Schulman. Coach Jim Grimes leads the Lady Titans team as they look to repeat as FCSAA Southern Conference champs. Admission to all Titans games is free, so check the schedule for the next home game and come out and support your Titans. Orlando City Soccer Club has announced that its highly anticipated United Soccer League team will be called Orlando City B and play its home games at Eastern Florida State College's Titan Soccer Complex on the Melbourne campus. The club expects this venue to be as electric and exciting as MLS matches, with Space Coast supporters on hand to cheer on their club each and every game. Eastern Florida President Dr. Jim Ritchie talked about the team and its impact on the college and the county.
Orlando City has captured the soccer world in Florida, drawing more than 500,000 fans to Orlando for Major League Soccer action. Many of those fans, we see here today, live right along the Space Coast. In addition, this specific partnership creates potential opportunities for our students through internships during the season.
The Titan Soccer Complex, which is home to the college's nationally ranked men's and women's soccer teams, will seat 3,500 fans for OCB's matches. Orlando City Vice President of Business Development Tim Holt also discussed the partnership.
We're here because we believe that after a good amount of research that this is the optimal location to launch our USL team. We think it'll be exceptionally well supported in a community that is definitely has soccer fever. So as much as we strongly believe Brevard County is the right place for this USL team to play, we wouldn't be here today without Eastern Florida State College and their leadership believing in this, namely, and there's so many folks that have been involved with this, namely Dr. Ritchie and Jeff Carr.
Season tickets for 2016 are on sale now for Orlando City's MLS season ticket members and will be available to the general public on October 20th. For more information, visit this website.
This is where we're building the future, where you discover new opportunities and careers take flight. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where Titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Join veteran sportscaster Jeff Radcliffe as he hosts Eastern Florida State College coaches and student athletes for a closer look inside Titan sports. Produced in partnership with Florida Today, the weekly in-depth program covers the 11 Titan men's and women's sports teams through game footage and coaches' analysis. Get closer to the action Thursday nights at 8 here on WEFS.
Back in Melbourne, the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championship set for second half action. here on NJCAA TV and WEFS. Jeff Radcliffe and Eddie Rodriguez, our entire crew, glad to bring the second half to you here as we were the first. No score in that first half. We'll switch sides. It will be the Tritons in the dark jerseys, the dark kits overall, Eastern Florida in the white, as the Titans now will attack the goal to our right. The rain continues to pour. Field continues to be in great shape, though. And we are underway in half number 2. There'll be one at midfield. And now Shaw releases right side. Davis. Now, nice move there by the Largo native.
Yeah, it seems like the same way they came in, they left the half, they came in the second half.
Camargo forcing the issue, crosses the halfway line. The run continues along the left with, this is Robayo. And now Arbeláez on the left, Savory. Arbeláez will send the searching ball through it. Too far forward, escorted the whole way by Helen Ramsey, and Barreras will have it.
Yeah, good job by Eastern Florida defensively. They keep the gaps in between the center defenders pretty tight. They don't let anything go through.
To cross, and Wenzel makes the run. And it'll be cleared into touch. So a throw in coming up for the Tritons here in their attacking half right near the corner.
Yeah, Cordich batting a little bit. I think she had more time than what she thought. Clears the ball inside her 18. Didn't want to have any problems with it. Just kicks it out.
Headed out of the 18-yard area. And the Tritons recover. And we'll go back to work from the right flank. Ball pinged into the center. Falls into the box. Here is Robayo. As two defenders come out to meet her, Shaw comes back. Player down for the Tritons, and Barreras just outside the box will make the distribution near side to Bunny Shaw. Shaw in the center. This is Brianna Camargo. Back to Shaw. Into open space. Bunny comes, sends it on frame. It will bounce once right in front of the keeper, Medeiros. And she'll have it.
Yeah, Bunny was looking for the ball all the way back far post to Julia Hernandez. Not able to get a hold of the whole ball. She just hits it short. And you wonder, Jeff, Iowa Central having a Brazilian coach who played the game. Pretty sure at halftime she, kept pushing the issue as far as you got to keep possession of the ball. In the first half they were playing a little more direct, and now you can finally tell they're switching the point of attack, keeping the ball going side to side. That's more like it for a team that's loaded with international players.
Dangerous encounter here. And it comes right to Arbeláez. Now Eastern Florida will come the other way with it. For the time being. Yeah, Coach Lessa, as we mentioned, native of Rio de Janeiro. Spent her formative years playing at the women's club level with Fluminense Vasco da Gama and Team Chicago Brazil, 3 giant clubs.
Well, as you know, playing for clubs like that with a lot of tradition, the speed of play and the way you play, which is a technical, founded soccer, she's got to have that tradition. She's got to have, the same type of coaching philosophy as they do down in Brazil. Keeping the ball, playing good possession, playing good technically, and, of course, go at the attack right away. They also believe that the best offense, the best defense is a good offense, so they much rather keep the ball and go forward.
Which they'll try to do now as the Tritons a little gallivanting through the midfield. That ball bent to that back post, and Santos gave it a go.
And see, that's the difference when you take the advantage and you start, going forward, taking shots from the outside. As we saw the great strike right there from Santos, long range shot. Look, she takes care of 2-3 players, looks up, has a good look, lets it go. And Barreras at the very last minute, she dove. Good save right there because that could have gone in. But once again, Jeff, it's about taking the initiative of going forward, keeping possession of the ball, making something happen, and then as long as you finish with a shot, then you're doing a good job offensively.
Iowa Central pushing the issue here 5 minutes into the first half, or make that the second half, and Barreras will let it fly.
I tell you,
headed back into the attacking half of the Tritons.
Barreras has been busier than we usually see her in a regular game. She's usually in the back.
Taking a nap.
Taking a nap, but this game she's been pretty busy. Of course, we talked about the importance of making the ball bounce because it's wet, so she's been on her toes the whole game.
Kordich back behind her head. And now it will be the Titans on the run. And again, midfield being bossed at times here by the Tritons. Now Bunny Shaw. She'll make the run, can keep her feet. Now turn it back, top of the 18. Shaw to the left foot. Once, twice, she'll shoot. Takes a deflection in front. And it is parried away.
That right there tells you about her ability. A moment of brilliance just from her. Took care of 4 players from Iowa Central. Almost capitalizing that chance. By the time she got to that left post, left side, not able to make a great strike with the ball.
Camargo able to find Hernandez. And she will have the throw in.
And that just gives you a good indication of what kind of player she is. Of course, we mentioned that she's the captain of the U20 Jamaican national team.
A ball across, and holding on for dear life was Nicole Medeiros. So Eastern Florida getting numbers forward moments ago as this game opening up somewhat. Barreras will have it.
Steph in the back. She's probably going to play the ball early. And here's another angle of what I was talking about. Look at Bunny, how far she starts, wins that first tackle, cuts the ball. That's 2 players. Look, that 1, 2, that's 3. The 4th, and by the time she gets there, does not have the right angle to strike the ball once again. Talk about going with a lot of power. That's something she brings to this Eastern Florida offense.
3 different defenders fronting her.
Well, she used her right foot, left foot. She definitely takes advantage of that size.
Picked up by Hernandez to a streaking Camargo. Corner, again, doing all the work, Arbeláez.
Yeah, that was once again Camargo to Camargo. The ball going inside when she wanted to go outside.
Camargo back to her assists, and she will earn a corner kick. Haven't had many of those tonight. And a set-piece opportunity upcoming for Eastern Florida.
Yeah, that's usually what we see from sister to sister. It's almost like any other twins, they finish their sentence, but they deal with the ball. They know where the other one's going to be. They play the ball into space where the player is going to be, rather. They do a great job just doing the 1-2s.
This is Astia Zeran, right hand in the air, left foot swings through, in swinger, back post. Shaw got a head on it, and it's going to go over the top of the bar behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, Bunny got a head on that. Not the most comfortable header on that one. She was a little bit late, so I'm not sure if she got pushed from behind, but it's almost like all of a sudden she was surprised that she got the ball. And give credit to that play right there, Nicole Medeiros doing a great job. The last corner we saw she came out, you mentioned it. She barely got a hold of that ball, but she's been solid in the back for Iowa Central.
It's a leg through, and Shaw will get the first touch here. Bunny, one long touch of the ball, and Hernandez can't get there. It will be cleared out. Should be a throw for the Titans of Eastern Florida.
Yeah, you can tell Julia wanted to return the favor there back to Bunny, and by the time she spawned the ball, just got to wait a little bit too far.
Ball rolls into space, and it will be cleared to the halfway line in the technical area.
You're right, though, Jeff. Back. The legend, Jeff Carr, does look like he's out fishing.
Yeah,
he's just completely soaked.
He's also the Johnny Cash tonight, the man in black.
There is the legend, Jeff Carr, in his 6th year.
Yeah.
looking to get his first national championship. What a tremendous job he's done in this program. And not only with the women's, but of course, athletic program. He's the athletic director. You know, the boys in the Final Four as well.
Carr, native of Toronto, Canada, Ontario. Played collegiately at Spring Harbor College and then was a club coach at Baylor University, and then parlayed that to a job at Trevecca Nazarene in Nashville, men's coach, and then decided to come on here. Father's English, big Arsenal fan, Jeff Carr.
That's his only downfall, but
yes.
and of course,
any similarities between Arsene Wenger and Jeff Carr are completely coincidental.
If you've had a chance to be around this campus here, you get an idea of what him and Dr. Ritchie have done as far as the athletic facilities. They have better facilities than some D1 programs here.
Carr's son Kyle just finished up his freshman year at Liberty University, former Titan. Now Shaw, how about that controls? Hits it back over her head. Shaw will run into space. Here comes Bunny. As Hernandez inside the box, if she can get the corner, here it is. It will be a corner kick.
It is a corner, but how about for technical ability? Wow, she gets the ball, one touch, flicks it. See a replay of that when you get a chance. And of course, she gets a corner kick for her team. Watch this one more time. She collects the ball in the air, 1-2. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Chest trap, give and go with the Camargo sister. That's just outstanding control right there.
Corner kick to be delivered by Astia Zeran. The left foot swings it near post. A flick on header over the top. And a nice effort there. And the player down for Eastern Florida. Not sure if that is Hernandez. It is. So she's slow to get up.
Yeah, what a great effort by Julia Hernandez. Great ball by Paula once again. Spaniard to Spaniard going near post. And that was not far off. Diving header. Just gets a hold of that. She was looking for that near post. Looking to go top shelf.
Contact there with the defender as well. So here are 33 minutes to go.
And I tell you, Jeff, Julia's that type of player. Then the game's over. You can tell she just played 90 because she's all over the place. Diving, tackling, scoring, assisting. Who would have thought as a freshman she was going to come in and put 27 in the back of the net, right?
Turnover center of the park, and now Titans will give it right back. Counter coming for the Tritons. Trying to keep those nicknames straight here tonight. It's a lesson in futility. Tracking back along the left was Raballo. A little push off, and free kick will be awarded to Iowa Central.
Yeah, Delgado right there just stepping in front, but she gets called for the foul.
It'll be taken as expected by Lacey Santos, the Bogota, Colombia native. Boy, she is the workhorse in the center of that park.
Another
she's
great.
She's on every ball.
Yeah, another great technical player.
And she'll bend it with the right foot, top of the 18. And looking to clear the lines are the Titans. Nice hold-up play by Jordan Brown. She will look for the outlet. Nice job on warding off the defender.
Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about. Santos takes care of two players, plays that through ball.
Who's going to crack first? Question that remains to be seen here in Melbourne as Barreras will make the distribution. And Savory trying to force the issue. Now Roach will help out, and that forcing the turnover, playing that high press.
And this is when you start again to see this fatigue setting in. You see Delgado on the right, grabbing a right quad. Another player that played 90 plus yesterday, the overtime.
Well, fans, you can follow all the action of the 2015 NJCAA Division I Women's Soccer National Championship live right here on NJCAA TV. Just go to www.njcaa.com NJCAATV.com as the ball goes into Barreras. You can view live and archive video of each game. Relive all the exciting plays and great memories of this year's tournament by visiting www.njcaatv.com. It has been a wonderful tournament. Our pal Nick Grunowitz been here all week calling all the action.
And if you
From
don't
pool play to the semifinals.
Absolutely. He's been doing all the games. And if you don't think it's raining hard enough, Stephanie Barreras is on her second outfit, full outfit. She came out wearing red. Now you're wearing blue.
She just dropped 10 pounds by changing the jersey.
Different boots.
Well, that ball got through, and Ramsey will leave it back for Steph. Delgado. Nice turn inside with Roballo. Roballo and Delgado continuing to joust. Held up in the middle. Arbeláez. Ball comes through off of Ramsey. The flag was up on the far side as the official Brian Bauer.
Yeah, great job by Eastern Florida. Step in, the whole line step, and they left a couple of players from Iowa Central offsides. And Santos has the ability playing offensive center mid for Iowa Central. She takes care of her defender, and then she tries to play that through ball. So Eastern Florida, they have to be careful with that line right there. That's the play, that one right there. Between the lines, she tries to play the seam every time. So make sure you're not flat. Make sure you don't leave your defender open, your forward open, rather, because that could be problems.
Trying to find Scardazzi as we've played over an hour here. 28.5 minutes to go, or we'll have some bonus soccer as we did last night in the first semifinal. Iowa Central, a 2-0 win in the other semifinal. Had control of that game throughout.
Well, we did say this was going to be a defensive type of a game, very challenging.
Yeah,
well,
you aren't a liar.
We've delivered once again. We weren't sure about the weather, but
no, didn't expect this.
Then again, this is Florida, where the weather changes by the minute.
Every tick of the watch. As we mentioned, we're not really in the storm season at the moment here in mid-November, but every now and then one of your systems move through and just continue to dump water down.
Usually that's right.
Usually our rainstorms come in and go.
That's right. This is our winter.
Yeah. Yeah, you folks watching there in Fort Dodge who just had like 10 inches of snow. We kid. Roballo will kick this away. Lucero out of Bogota, Colombia as well. Here's Shaw. And Bunny, a lot of space to work. As the defense continues to give respect, a little nick in, and Arbeláez will be the guilty party. That's one way to stop her.
Yeah, that's one way to stop her. This is dangerous right here, but you can tell right away this is great for her. She loves to hit the free kicks from there, just about 30 out. And you and I have seen some great shots from her. A couple of free kicks that gone in. So this is definitely dangerous for Iowa Central.
Shaw on 11 goals in just 10 games played this year. And we'll test the keeper Medeiros here. At least she'll try. Here is the offering. Sends it up and poked over the bar by Medeiros, and that's exactly what happened. Sent it right at her, and that was going into the back of the net.
Bunny with a great strike right over the wall. You know, I like that because you want to make the goalkeeper make a save. Look, doesn't strike the ball overly, hard, but just puts it on target. You want to make Nicole Medeiros make the save.
Leads to another set piece, this time a corner from the far side. Camargo hits it high, lands inside the 18. Scramble defending, and it will come out. And now back in, as it's good to see Nicole Broderick back in the game. She left with an injury there in the first half, and the Jamaican will track back. Numbers will have to get back now for the Titans as Iowa Central moves forward, playing it direct. Got to be careful, and the only play is to the near touchline, and it will be a throw for Iowa Central.
Yeah, Cook clearing the ball from Eastern Florida, but I think there was an offside call by the linesman prior to that.
Yeah, hard to see Brian Bauer over on that far side. He's, he's shrouded in the mist. Good catch. There's Titans will take the time on the throw as Kordich will play it in. Kordich will continue the run. Nice give and go. To the byline, and it will be a goal kick.
You can tell, Jeff, the intensity of the game in the second half has definitely dropped. This is when you're starting to see how tired the players are from just playing the game yesterday. You know, the pretty quick turnaround. We talked about just 24 hours later. And, of course, if you add certain things like the rain and, you know, delays, how heavy the ball is right now with all the rain, with all the water, and, of course, if you play 90-plus player like some of these guys did, some of these girls did for Eastern Florida with overtime, it definitely adds up.
Both of these teams breezed through pool play as Eastern Florida took out Spartanburg Methodist 7-0 and Pima 4-1, while Iowa Central 4-0 winners over Laramie County and 4-1 winners over Lewis and Clark. So we're not tested in really till the semifinals, either of these teams. Of course, each team the high seed in their respective pool.
And now they get here, and we knew we were going to witness a defensive battle, and both teams living up to the challenge, to the expectations. And Jeff, you and I have done a lot of games. We know that a game of this caliber a lot of the times comes down to either a moment of brilliance or just a mistake in the back at the wrong time, and that could pretty much cost you the game.
Unbeaten season also on the line for Eastern Florida State College. They roll into this 17-0 against 18-1 for Iowa Central. And Iowa Central's only loss has been avenged twice over. And the game, 3 games against the Reavers of Iowa Western, that powerhouse that has now been dethroned.
Yeah, and they're pretty much their arch rivals, right? That
team out of Council Bluffs.
2 teams that don't like each other at all.
A little spell of possession here now for Iowa Central on that far side, and as soon as I say that, it's turned over.
On cue.
Shaw gallops, sends it forward. Camargo to Camargo, and muscled off the ball. Touched by Wenzel. She will hold the ball up. And defense was right there. Nice job by Ramsey.
Yeah, but look at Wenzel just going 1 against 4 defenders from Eastern Florida. Talk about sitting back a little bit. You got to somehow get her some help.
Headed forward into space. Ramsey will just clear it left. Not sure that's the way it wanted to come off the wet boot.
Good idea, wrong club.
Nice touch by Santos to keep it down. Now the counter coming for Eastern Florida. Cannot find Julia Hernandez. This is Brianna Camargo. Her sister streaking through. She'll play it right side to Delgado instead. And Santos able to win it. Comes back to Bishop.
Yeah, and it seems like once again we're going back and forth just through the middle, so direct. Neither team willing to just put the ball down and hold it. Change the tempo of the game through possession.
Been tough to hold it with the quality of the midfielders here, as they're very capable of winning balls, especially number 18 now, Lacey Santos. Oh, nice ball searching through. Backline did its job once again as Scardazzi had gotten through.
Yeah, and definitely Santos from Iowa Central, probably one of the most savvy players, as we're going to see the first yellow card here on a tackle.
Yep, and it will be issued to Shelby Baker. So first booking comes with just about 20 minutes left in the contest. So the team that came in second in the nation in yellow cards finally gets its first.
Yeah, as we saw Bonnie right there. Here we see another angle. Bunny once again doing the little flick. She tried to get around. Well, not around her.
Could be persistent infringement there on Shelby Baker.
Yeah, it could have been her second or third. And that's not a bad foul where it happens, because that's what we call a professional foul. You give your team a chance to get back defensively and get their shape.
Getting into crunch time here. Final 20 minutes. As Barreras and Medeiros there keeping the clean sheet with the help of some good solid defending in front. Nothing has come easy tonight, Eddie.
Not at all. We did foresee a good defensive challenge. I just didn't think it was going to be this close.
Kordich along the far side. Defenders come too. Able to hold it up. She can get it to Camargo. Able to do so. Abby flicks it back. Here is Shaw in that holding position. And Iowa Central comes away with who else? Santos releases Wenzel right at the halfway line, and she will play the direct ball forward again.
Yeah, Kordich in the back, just closing that gap. But you're right, just playing that long ball from Santos.
Slow to get up Delgado.
Telling you, Delgado's taking a beating in the last 2 days. You can tell how sore she is from the game yesterday. Limps away.
Well, after tonight, you'll be as sore as you want.
Absolutely.
You won't. If you hold that trophy tonight, you won't feel anything. Be numb. Shaw off her chest.
Yeah.
Continues to battle. Shaw sends it goalward and over the top. So looking more and more dangerous, and you'd have to say that Bunny Shaw, a little bit better of a game tonight than she had last night in the semifinals. She's certainly had more of an impact here tonight.
I tell you, Jeff, she's the type of player. I know I spoke to Jeff Carp a couple of times, and he said, you know what, once you get her upset, she takes it personally, and then she just unleashes the demons in the other team. She said happened a couple of times where Bunny just went after him and said, you know what, now I'm really upset. Now I'm going to turn it on. So you don't want to upset her, but you're right, though. She takes it personally, and she's had probably the best chances in the second half for Eastern Florida going at the attack.
Good build up now along the left side. Kordich as they take the ball away again. Can't say enough about some of these players for the Tritons. They are making a living winning 50-50 balls in their back half. And Barreras off her line and will concede the throw in. We'll have to hustle back.
Once again, adding dangers. How far she comes out.
Don't want any of those holding breath moments if you're Jeff Carr, especially this late in the contest. As we saw Eastern Florida's men last night in the semifinals concede late and had to make the trip back home. But congratulations to Oliver 12-Tree's team for making the Final Four this year. It's been a great season for those guys.
Absolutely. Great job for Oliver.
Barreras as the ball spilled in front. Unable to cash in the Tritons. And that will go for a goal kick. So there's one of your hold your breath moments.
Stephanie adding once again dangerous, to this. You can tell she comes out late. And that bounce right there almost got her. That was actually Ramsey who let the ball bounce. They finally got her out.
Flicked on, flicked forward, and pinged back across the line. Oh, what a flick on, but offside. Flag is up on the far side. Roche was off. And that will.
And to finish that thought on the boys on the men's side here at Eastern Florida, Jeff, Oliver 12-Tree was dealing with, they lost all their 4 defenders last year, so he was dealing with a brand new flat back 4 this year, and he managed to do a great job with them. Of course, making it all the way to the Final Four, to the tournament, of course.
Haley Cook Played all 16 games last year. Has been a stalwart on that back line for Jeff Carr. Playing just a few miles from her hometown of Satellite Beach. Now will be pressed into defense again, as it will be a throw for Iowa Central. So coming up now, under 16 minutes to go. Headed forward, back into the center of the park.
Well, the stage is set for whoever wants to be the hero of this national final.
Our champion will be crowned tonight at some point. See how long we're waiting. 15.5 minutes in regulation. It goes to the byline. And corner kick upcoming for Iowa Central. Fans, you can keep up with the latest news and updates regarding NJCAA soccer by visiting the official website of the National Junior College Athletic Association at www.njcaa.org.
There's Cook, who cleared that ball. She tried to get to the end line and actually kicked that out of bounds for a throw-in. Not able to get there. And, of course, a chance for Iowa Central here in the corner.
Santos will deliver with the right foot. Under 15 to go. Set piece coming for the Tritons. High in the air, out swinging kick, back post. It does find a head, but it is out of play, and it will be a corner on the near side, last touched by a Titan.
I thought Robano was the last one that hit it, but no, the referee says no. Corner kick, Iowa Central again.
Lucero Roballo will do the honors this time. And move that flag out of her way. Expect an in-swinger here. Both posts guarded by Eastern Florida on either side of Barreras. An in-swinger at the top of the 6. And this time it will be a goal kick.
Great ball by the Colombian. Roballo, I think they're...
Eastern Florida's student section, they get fired up there.
Yeah, they want to give the ball back.
Under 14. One of your patented moments of brilliance could be coming our way.
I feel it coming.
And now a player is down for the Tritons. And that will stop the clock at 13:37 as we check in on Roballo. And one of the 9 freshmen in the starting lineup tonight for head coach Christian Lessa.
And I'm not sure if there it is, just the student
Somebody
section.
doing the cabbage patch there? Is that what I just saw? No.
Of course, that's the baseball team.
Jeff Tam's crew, they've kind of a really good team this year at Eastern Florida, playing over at Bruce Bochy Field.
Brand new batting cages, I think. Brand new stands, just
concession stands,
great,
restrooms, the whole 9
great
yards.
Facility, great stadium.
If it was light out, you'd be able to see it off to our right. But darkness has descended
It seems
a
like,
long
Jeff,
time ago.
every time you and I are on campus, they're building something, new
Yes.
building going up. New
None
tennis courts.
of those buildings have our name on it, though. So
Not yet.
we're here long enough.
Tennis courts to our left, brand new from where we were last year.
That's right.
Brand new Jumbotron, right, straight from us.
Dr. Ritchie keeps those buildings coming as this college continues to grow academically and athletically and in stature all over the place. Iowa Central with something working. Delgado will race 2, and good job shielding. She's pushed off the ball, will earn the throw.
Look at that, great job by Delgado, just deep in the second half, and she's still running like it's the 10th minute in the game. That's great. And she does not get subbed out a lot, let me tell you, so she's really fit.
Galloping like her father, a former jockey in Maryland. Although she uses her own legs. Under 13 to go, still no score. So glad you're with us here on NJCAA.TV and WEFS here locally on the Space Coast. I'm Jeff Radcliffe, and to my right, Eddie Rodriguez, as we close the finale of this week-long extravaganza of junior college soccer. Champion will be crowned here tonight.
Bethany Jones in from Eastern Florida. Looking to get that spark out wide, left mid. See if you can get something coming off the bench and just trying to get some offense.
Santos. And Ramsey will take care of it. It's one way to clear it out.
Ramsey just lets it fly. Well, that's a good way to get your shape in the back.
Ramsey a forward last year for Jeff Carr, but then when you got Julia Hernandez come into the fold, Astia Zaran coming into the fold, you're going to use that 6-foot frame as a defender.
Well, when you brought half of the Spanish national team and they were going to score 60 goals for you, then you bring Ramsey in the back and say, you know what, you can be a center back this year because you do a great job in the back.
She's great on set pieces, great in the air, Ramsey.
Oh, yeah, we've seen her score some goals and corner kicks this year, adding herself to the attack.
Yeah. Played at Treasure Coast High School, was the kicker on the high school football team, Helen Ramsey.
And we just saw why.
Eastern Florida will play it forward as Hernandez, looking effortless on the run, cuts it back to the inside. She's into the box. Will continue the run, and it's cleared out momentarily by Quiroz, who has played a lot more withdrawn here tonight. We haven't called the number 14's name very often. She had 2 goals yesterday.
Yeah, Paula tried to play that ball one time.
Trying to get the edge. Now Santos moving forward. Using that technical skill to get it to Arbeláez. Here's the throw, and here's a replay.
Yeah, here's a replay of this. Julia was trying to cut the ball. Watch this hand. I don't think the referee sees that, but as she loses control of the ball, watch the hand right there.
Ooh.
Number 10.
Yeah, Freitas getting away with one.
And that's definitely a handball. Comes off her chest. Left arm right there. And, of course, the rule says that if you change the trajectory of the ball to help your position on the field, which that was the
Whether
case.
you mean to or not sometimes.
Absolutely. Whether you mean to or not, that's a great point you bring up.
Great ball by Hernandez to leave it back. Camargo looking for Shaw. She's in the box. She'll shoot across. And it is caught up to by the Tritons.
Bonnie with a great chance, great look. Just when I thought she was going to take a shot on goal, she tries to play the ball behind. Nobody there.
Bunny again. Here is this is Camargo. Lindo in there now too. Rosalina, the sophomore from Jacksonville, here for the Titans to provide a spark.
Yeah, if you can. Yeah, Rosalina Lindo, just some fresh legs on top, playing with that extra forward for Jeff Carr. You know, and he knows if he brings numbers up, and all you need is 1. So this is crucial. You can afford to play 3 in the back. You're only marking 1.
Quiroz. And it comes back to Santos. 18 on 18. Here's Quiroz. Arbeláez will send it into touch. Here's another look.
Here's Camargo. Abby plays that great through ball for Bunny, who was wide open. And Bunny does a good job just getting around right there. Just when I thought she was going to go direct, she tried to play that ball across. And, of course, Julia Hernandez was too far back, not able to step in front.
She found the wrong number 10. Lace Freitas got there first.
Well, and you think this late in the game, Jeff, you just want to put it on frame. Anything can happen. We've seen some crazy things. It hits a defender. It deflects out of the goalkeeper before you know you're in front of the goal.
Can't tell, but the rain is still coming down, albeit much lighter, not quite as heavy. Still, balls tend to skip when they're wet and the field conditions are wet. It makes it tough on these keepers. All the more impressive that we've got a 0-0 scoreline here with 7:30 to go.
Yeah, and of course we have a pretty good battle right here between Barreras on one side and Madeiros on the other one. Both keepers have made some really good saves. And that's what you want out of your goalkeeper, to keep you in the game, especially at championship time.
So it'll be cleared out. Will be a throw-in for Eastern Florida, or that portion of the match now where you concede a goal. It could be good night, Irene.
Good night, that's Sultry Road.
Thrown into space as to see Lindo took us time to tie her shoe. She's back in that holding spot at the moment.
Yeah, and that's Kordich playing.
Oh my goodness.
Look how high she is, left fullback.
She will hustle back. Free kick to the Tritons here. 6:30 from having added time in this. Or as they say in collegiate soccer, overtime. Right at the halfway line as our referee Carlton shakes towards the throw in. Ball matriculating along that right side. Forward it goes into the box. And Wenzel was in the vicinity to do some damage. Here's a ball to Barreras. She pegs it in front. Wenzel was running on anyway.
Yeah, not enough to beat her. She was on the line for once. And here comes a counter, Eastern Florida.
Delgado leaves it to the right side. And again, Triton's getting stuck in. Here's a ball head to the corner of the area. Camargo will settle back under against two defenders. Shakes one, and nice team defending by Iowa Central. Arbelais headed forward, and Ramsey sends it into touch. Throw in to Iowa Central. Shaw, now Camargo. To her right foot into space, and fortunately Bunny zigged when she should have zagged. It will be a throw for the home side. Eastern Florida State College, 0-0.
Yeah, Quiroz read that one like a children's book in the back. Step in
Wenzel.
front.
Challenge from behind, all ball. Play on.
Wow. No call there.
Kordich, Jacksonville native, the sophomore, has been plenty busy along that left flank. Of Bosnian descent. Started at Wolfson High School there in Jacksonville, and will look to play at the next level here next year as a sophomore.
Wenzel gets called for an offside. Barreras with a quick start.
Oh, good flick. And this back line's reading everything and keeping the game in front. Now it will be a throw with 4 minutes to go here in the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championship.
Yeah, they're doing a great job stepping in front of the forwards. Julia trying to post up. And a lot of the times, Jeff, it's hard for the forwards to stay active late in this game when they've been playing the whole time. Here's a good chance for Cook. Free kick, he's going to send it, put it in the box, put it in play.
Haley, strong boot. It's into the area, but no harm, no foul. It's going to be a goal kick.
Not the kind of ball you want to strike. You want to send that right in the mixer, right on the penalty box.
Tough to score direct from that area. And taking her time will be Nicole Medeiros with just a shade over 3 minutes to go. Game started 45 minutes late due to rain. It looks like we'll have some bonus soccer unless things change here in this last 3 minutes. Santos continuing that run. She's been brilliant all night, bossing that midfield. Leaves it back. Quiroz, who's had 2 goals. Now she'll run on to this one. Here's the cross, and it's in the net. Iowa Central has scored and has taken the lead with 2:30 to go. And Tamara Quiroz, her 13th goal of the season. It could not be any bigger.
We talk about the moment of brilliance, and here it is. Santos with a 1-2. And look at this finish right there to the far post, top shelf. Wow, what a great strike by Quiroz. Talk about the right time as well. Just the 1-2. She can't believe it.
What a 2-game stretch for the native of Belo Horizonte, Brazil.
And just when you thought, the game was going to go to overtime, I've been talking about it's going to come down to one of the players having a moment of brilliance or just a mistake. Well, in this case, it was a great 1-2 combination between Santos and Quiroz. Quiroz with a great one-time finish to the far post. Nothing Stephanie Barreras could do.
Comes with just 2:35 left. And now Eastern Florida down to their final 2.5 minutes of their season, unless they can extend this game by getting a goal in the dying moments of this one.
And this is when you want to send the players forward, go 3 in the back and get numbers up, send everybody into the box.
Goal kick. This will take some time off the clock. While Eastern Florida State College played in the championship game in 2012 here in Melbourne, they were ranked #1 in the nation this year, and they lost in that final in 2012 and a minute 45 away from heartbreak. Tamara Quiroz with her 4th goal of the tournament. Now Barreras will ping it forward. So you think about the chances that just went awry. Shaw running and cannot quite get there. It will be 90 seconds left in the season here for Eastern Florida. Shaw back to Camargo, cuts it back to the left foot, getting and conceding possession again with the team defending. 1 minute 15 to go. Nice technical move by Paige Savory. Along the left, Arbelais. 1 minute. If you're the Titans, got to win the ball. It will be taken into the corner, pushed off Ramsey, and throw back to Eastern Florida State College. 45 seconds. This will slow it up again, running out of time. And here's another throw with a half minute to go.
Eastern Florida must send numbers up. You want to ping the ball up front.
20 seconds. 15 now. Now to 10. 5 seconds. And the Iowa Central Community College Tritons have won the national championship. 1-0 the final on the strength of a late goal from Tamara Quiroz. The champs are the Tritons. We'll be back to talk about it right after this on NJCAA.tv.
Join veteran sportscaster Jeff Radcliffe as he hosts Eastern Florida State College coaches and student athletes for a closer look inside Titan sports. Produced in partnership with Florida Today, the weekly in-depth program covers the 11 Titan men's and women's sports teams through game footage and coaches' analysis. Get closer to the action Thursday nights at 8 here on WEFS.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where Titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Well, Eastern Florida State College came in undefeated, 17-0, number one in the nation on their home field. And it is heartbreak in Melbourne as Iowa Central scores the late goal, wins its first national championship. They come all the way from Fort Dodge, Iowa, and got the job done. You survive and advance normally. This time you survive and win a national title, Eddie.
Absolutely. Heartbreaking for Eastern Florida. You were 2 minutes away from going to overtime, and of course they had some chances, not able to put them away. And you and I talked about it in the second half. A lot of the times it comes down to, especially a game this close, can you play the perfect game with no mistakes in the back? In this case, it just came down to a moment between two players who just went at it. They had a great success 1-2, and of course I'm talking about Quiroz with a one-time finish, and great effort by Santos, who went around the center mids and played that great through ball. And of course, give credit to the whole team and the coach Lessa, who had the tactical awareness just to keep them in the game. And of course, they play good defense in the back.
A team with 6 Brazilians and 3 Colombians. They made the most of their efforts. And here's a look at the chances that Eastern Florida had, as this was a great chance for Shaw.
Yeah, that was Bonnie on a free kick just right over the wall, and Mededa with a great chance. And here's what I was talking about, nice little flick. Ball goes to the far post, and Quiroz just buries that one into the top shelf.
That proves to be the game winner and a clean sheet, the 11th of the season for Nicole Medeiros, you see there. And to the victor go the spoils. So it is a long way. The Tritons lose 1 game this season, and they avenge that loss to Iowa Western, and now they are national champions here in the NJCAA Division I level. And you can't speak enough about the quality of Eastern Florida State College's remarkable season, and it comes to an end in heartbreaking fashion in their hometown and on their home field.
Absolutely, a team that has it all: defense, offense, great goalkeeper, of course, great coaching staff on Jeff Carr. Led the team, and the great thing about them is that they play great quality soccer. Of course, this is not the way you want to go out, but they fought till the end. In the last 2 minutes, they gave up that crucial goal where there wasn't enough time for them to come back, and counter at that. But, give credit to them. They were on season long, and it's just, it's a tough way to go out.
Christian Lessa and Iowa Central set to fly out of here. Have to go to the airport at 3 a.m. It's going to be a rockin' flight back to Iowa as they win the championship 1-0 over Eastern Florida State College. So for everybody, my partner Eddie Rodriguez, for Nick Grunowitz, who called these games all week, for our producer Brian Foster, director John Bobar, and our Tire WEFS crew, I'm Jeff Radcliffe, saying so long from Melbourne, Iowa Central. The Tritons get the best of the Titans. They win the national championship. Good night from Melbourne.